Okay, I hope you can hear me. So, welcome back to our office in Paris. I'm Stan Larocque. I'm the CEO of Lynx, and I'm just back from a trip in San Francisco. The plane landed 2 hours ago, so I'm a bit tired, but I'm really happy to do this update. I will timestamp these updates with the different topics we're going to talk about today, and at the end we'll have a question and answer session where I will take questions from the chat and as usual try to answer the best I can with the data we have today. So this is also an update that will be featured on the Kickstarter page, because I know some folks here ask for an update and are not necessarily following our YouTube or Twitter account, so it will be the video will be also available on Kickstarter this evening. So thank you for following our progress. It's been really agitated these last few weeks. I have some stuff to share with you. I will try to share everything I can in the respect of what I'm able to discuss. But I have a few topics. The first one would be the Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter is the Kickstarter orders are still going to start shipping in April. So the first batch is still scheduled for April on the manufacturing level. We should go to Taiwan end of February or March to oversee everything, regarding the assembly of the devices and the calibration and all that. But the Kickstarter orders are still on their way. We also have a list of some developers and partners we are going to ship devices to. The list is long. It's hard. It will be hard to make choices. I'm anticipating message from people. Hey, why does this guy has a headset and not me? And it's going to be tough. But it will start with like a limited supply, and then we are ramping up the production to be able to sell a few thousand headsets every month for the rest of the year. But the first batch is still scheduled for April. So we are really, really excited. It's also very difficult, but we have a great manufacturer in Taiwan, Compal. So I'm not really worried about all that. The second thing that is also linked to the Kickstarter is that we in February we're going to announce a fundraising. We are finishing a fundraising round with investors. Not big VC funds, but mostly individuals and some companies in the space. So I'm very happy with the people we have put together now, and we have enough to finish the production, of course, but also put the product on the market correctly, do some interesting growing of the company and marketing around that. So. It was necessary because the money from the Kickstarter is great, but it's not enough to produce anything really, because it pays for the materials, it pays for certification and all that, but it doesn't necessarily cover all the tooling cost and everything, and everything else we need for growing the company. So this fundraising will be announced at the end of February. We're almost done. Just so you know, it's still open. Actually, I met people in San Francisco this week that asked me, "Hey, can we still invest?" There is a lot of I would say enthusiasm around our project. So feel free to contact me if you know anyone that should know our project. Feel free to let me know. But yeah, I'm very excited. It's finally growing. It's after a lot of waiting due to COVID, due to the problems we had in 2021, but finally we are out of that period, and I'm really looking forward to the coming months. Even the coming weeks actually are going to be pretty exciting. So that's what I wanted to tell you about the company, how we're moving forward and all that. We're also hiring in all positions. So software, hardware, communication, marketing, sales, administration, but that would be located in Paris. But we're trying to do a hiring spree And for that you can contact me, or you can contact someone on the LinkedIn account we have, or you can message someone from the team and say, hey, I want to work in optics, or I want to work in software. Contact someone from our team. You can message me directly. You can message anyone on there. Most of the team is on LinkedIn. Don't be shy. The third thing is the first thing I wanted to address today is I have some notes here. The development, the software development on the headset, because as of now version 1 is finished. The headset is done, and we are working on the software to be sure to support a lot of developers, and not to release multiple development kits that will be fragmented and that will be hard to support in the end. So we are trying to release something that is very unified, and something we are really betting on is still OpenXR. So about that, we have an OpenXR runtime. It's being worked on with Qualcomm. It takes some time, but we have an OpenXR runtime running on our headsets today, so it's a very good sign. There is 6DOF, hand tracking is working with Ultraleap with their OpenXR plugin. This is working. There are still stuff that we need to figure out, that we need to to develop and to bring that to our OpenXR runtime. It's the RGB pass-through plugin, so it's it's a layer where it's an OpenXR layer with the frames. We still need to finish that, and there is the specific distortion of our lens, like we have a specific lens in our headset. We have to make a specific rendering codes for that on OpenXR. So we have images in the headset. We can display stuff through Unity, through OpenXR, and on top of Unity. But it's not it's not adjusted for the distortion yet of our headsets, and you can do AR pass-through. So there are still things missing, but we know how to address them. People are working on that, and we should see everything maximum, like last point would be end of March. So end of March, we're sure to be able to ship something, and maybe if people want to work only in VR mode, maybe we can see if we can ship something before that, if some developers want to work on that. But you have to know that OpenXR is just part of the story for us, because we are not only doing the software layer where you will build your application on top of, but we are also doing like the firmware, the driver stuff and all that, and it's very, very complicated. And we are updating from Android 10, which is Android Q, to Android S, which is Android 12. So the runtime, the image we want to ship to our first users in April should run on OpenXR and Android S. So maybe it will start with Android Q, but it will be OpenXR nonetheless. We are not going to support the proprietary Qualcomm runtime. We don't want to support that. We just want to support the OpenXR path, and that would be the only thing we are going to support. And the good news is that, as I told you, it's working. We have we bridged that with Unity. To be completely honest, there are still some errors, and we don't have the pass-through and the Clover distortion, like the lens distortion, working. But the developers are on it, and we already made miracles with the previous runtime, so I'm not really worried here. I'm not saying it's just software, but it's what it is, really. So look for end of March release, public release, V1, and it's going to be shipped in the headsets that are coming out of the factory in April. That being said, we are focused on Unity, but not only. We have two other 3D real-time engine that we are looking to support through our OpenXR runtime. The first one is Unreal, of course. Most of the folks in the industry are also working with Unreal, so we want you to be able to use that one. And the third one is Godot. So Godot is a less known, maybe 3D engine, but it has the merit to be open source. It has the merit to work and to also have a focus on XR like the two other big ones. So we want to support those three headsets. So first OpenXR, then Unity, and then we'll work on making sure Unreal and Godot are compatible. So we are also looking for people to help us in that regard, because most of the code will be available. So if people want to do their own integration in a specific software, they should be able to do that. Yeah, that's important. So if you have some questions around that, you can ask me that at the Q&A session we're going to do after the last thing I want to share with you. I think the last thing I want to share with you today is the week I just had, actually. I'm going to tell you about my holidays now, but I was just recently in San Francisco for 4 days, actually, for the SPIE Conference. So I'm going to put like the link in the description. I would say if you're very interested in AR and VR, I would really advise you to look at that conference and maybe try to go next year. It's the most important hardware conference. So when you go there, it's mainly around optics and displays, but optics and displays are the most important part. The optical block is the most important part of an HMD. If it's a smart glass or a very big HMD or simulation system, the optics and the displays are, most of the experience and something you engineer around usually when you design these things. So what you see at that conference is the kind of tech and discussions of the future, and you see what is going to be shipped or what is possible for the next 2-3 years. So that was really interesting. You can try many headsets. You can try many display technology. That's really great. So I was there and I did a talk for Lynx, and surprisingly, I mean not surprisingly, but that conference is really around head-mounted display, like HoloLens, Magic Leap, smart glasses. So like optical see-through devices, and I was the only one showing a video see-through, like AR with cameras at that conference. So I was the video see-through guy at that conference, and they were really surprised by the quality we have. I had the devices with me. I was able to make demos to the community, and everyone went to the booth. I saw guys from you've seen on Twitter that someone from Goldman Sachs can buy, people from Apple, people from Microsoft, Magic Leap. The whole industry finally could put their hand on Lynx, and I'm happy to share that, because we weren't able to go to CES this year, but at least we were there for that conference, and I hope we will be able to make more demos in the US in a few weeks. But it was really interesting. I met all our partners. I met with Qualcomm for a day. I flew to San Diego 2 days ago to have a technical and business discussion. I went to see Ultraleap too, our great partners. Maybe they're watching too. So I went to the US office for the first time and met the guys there. That was great. I saw many people from the ecosystem. Not everyone. I couldn't see everyone because my schedule was very packed, and I was the only one of Lynx that could travel to the US again. I hope next time in the US I will see more people. We will also try to travel in Japan this year, because we also have a big community there. If you have any ideas where we could travel when the headset is going to be released, please feel free to tell me. If you think there is a community or people interested in our innovation, that would be great. I was also very happy to prove to the big players, like the big teams, that a team of 15 people could achieve a really viable product, and that the technology of AR pass-through not only is cheap and much easier to accomplish than optical see-through devices, but it's also better in some regards, in some respect. If you want to do this like the smart glass form factor, I think optical see-through is still the main choice, but If you want to make a HMD like a VR or AR like HoloLens or Magic Leap, I would say digital pass-through, video pass-through is the way to go. And I proved that at that conference, and we're proving that with the product today. It's really when everything comes together with 6DoF hand tracking and very low latency pass-through that you have something very compelling. And when you had that, and when you had peripheral vision and good field of view, with good enough resolution on top of that, then it's quite magical. So I was really happy to do this trip, and now I'm back here with the team, and we're working on the manufacturing. So I'm going to take questions now. I'm going to go through the chat. I think we're. So the first question is the chip shortage. Is the chip shortage affecting production? Not really, because we made the orders at the right time, so the lead time were managed. But we might see a shortage in Q3 or Q4 for some stuff, but it's in weeks, not in months, so it's manageable. So I would say not really affected. How much of the code will be open source? Will it be enough to allow for custom run and such? So there are a few things. It's a tricky question, because you will be able to flash whatever you can flash on our device. I don't know what other OS besides Android you can flash on a Qualcomm XR2. That's a good question. I think you could flash Linux, but you will not benefit from all the Qualcomm proprietary drivers to access parts of the chipset that are important, especially hardware blocks that are accelerating processes like 6DoF and hand tracking and all that. So I would recommend, if you want to repurpose a Lynx and do something else with the electronics, have a try. Why not? But if you want to keep doing AR and VR with it, I would suggest that you stay on our ROMs, because we embed like the Qualcomm layers of the hardware blocks, and you can tap into that to do hardware accelerated computer vision. You can tune the pipeline of the video see-through. You can grab the frames of the sensor very easily because it's shared memory. So I would advise to stay on our OS if you still want to do AR and VR. And the OpenXR plugins will be open source. The rendering part of the OpenXR, which is done with Qualcomm, is still under discussion. But everything built on top of that is going to be open source, including our SDK. The Ultraleap SDK is already open source, so you can already play with that. But that's my answer. Will there be a form for Kickstarter backers for shipping addresses and details? Absolutely, absolutely. Once we have a clear idea of when we can ship these things, we are going to get back at the list of our backers and fetch the contact details for the deliveries. Absolutely, don't worry. Will there be controllers? Yeah, for those of you that order controllers, they will come with your order. So those are 6DoF controllers made by Finch, but manufactured by us and Compal with our ID. But we have controllers. Okay. So is the proprietary drivers Android agnostic? Can there be a Cyanogen OS like custom ROMs? I think so. I would say yes, but someone will have to try. Okay, I don't know, but if it's an Android kernel running from AOSP, yeah, that should probably work. Because yeah. Do you think that this will be the start of the new era of VR, not just as a game but as a new way to live? So I'm definitely confident that it's not a way to live yet. Like, you shouldn't wear that for hours at a time, because there are still a lot of I'm talking about all headsets. There are still a lot of limitations about the optics, the eye strains, even the basic ergonomic stuff is not, I think it's not, on my opinion, it's not solved yet. So there's definitely room for improvements before we can consider that a wearable that, like AirPods that you can wear almost all day. But it's definitely a new era for the devices we're building. And this is why we will also start to have competition in the coming years around video see-through. And I think VR is just going to be seen as a subset of mixed reality, the way we're doing it. So you buy a mixed reality headset and you can access VR games and content, but it will open also new use case in mixed reality for work and for communication. So Facebook likes to call that embodied internet, the metaverse, and we agree with that. It's the communication layer will come with better networking on those devices, with better integration with current connected content. But it's definitely a new era, and I would call that the mixed reality era rather than just VR. In my opinion, VR is just a subset of that. Not in a demeaning way, of course, but there is much more than just VR in this case. And that is what is driving me. As a user and as a headset manufacturer, headset designer, this is what Lynx wants to push forward, like new use case. And it's not just a matter of, let's just add sensors and poof, you will have new use cases. It's a really, really tough question. I see a lot of headsets adding sensors. I have no idea why. For example, the Magic Leap 2, I could try it this week. They put 2 altimeters in this thing. I'm sure there is a reason. They couldn't tell me why, but I still see some strange design decisions, sensor design, but also ID design, mechanical design, that kind of baffles me still to this day. Good question. Next. Any news about your app store? I actually had an email today right after landing from SideQuest. I have to check with these guys, but we're definitely going to do something. I don't want to, tell things before they happen, but there will be an app store. I don't want to tell too much, but don't worry. The headset will ship not only with OpenXR but also with an app store. Has the controller design be finalized yet? No. Will they ship in April or later? They might ship later than in April. I have no clear idea yet on some of the lead time we have on some of the stuff for the controllers. I will probably have more news in February. So about the website order, so the website orders will start to ship as soon as possible. Priorities for Kickstarter backers, but it's a queue. So as soon as you order on a website, you're added to the list. And right now, I think with the back orders we have and the quantities, I think they will be delivered around June. Yeah, I think it's safe to say June, if not before. Have you already tested CLUD rendering to the headset, for example, from Unity Editor via Wi-Fi? Yeah, we're able to do that. So we're able to do that today through CLUD XR, so we can play Steam VR games over Wi-Fi. That works very well. We have a demo of that on our channel with Nati from Native VR that is playing Beat Saber and Half-Life Alyx on the headset. Will it be possible to add a carrying case to our Kickstarter order so everything ships together? A while back when I checked, the carrying case was only on the Lynx website store. Will backer surveys let us add cases? Yeah, and we're working on the cases. You can see some stuff there in the box. I'm not going to show you because it's not ready, but yeah, you can add that to your order. Let's see if there are other questions. How is the development of the Finch controllers coming along? So the software is there. The software is there. It's just not the layout of some of the hardware and the mechanical ID, but it's coming along. As I told you, it's maybe going to ship after the first headsets. It is a priority to us though, but it's on a different line than the assembly of the headset. Can the HMD be charged while in use, and is the battery replaceable? So the HMD can absolutely be charged while in use. So if you stay tethered, you have a limited battery, of course, and you can use an external battery at all time. You can strap it at the back. You can put it in your pocket, but you can definitely add more battery life with that strategy. The rest of the question, can you put it again on the screen? Yeah. Is the battery replaceable? Technically, yeah. You need to unscrew 5 screws to access the battery. I think it can be user replaceable. I think we did that. I'm going to check that, and I'm 99% sure you can replace the battery because this is something that was part of our specs. You know, we wanted people to at least be able to do that. So people should invest in XR headset like yours instead of a VR headset like others, just with a higher resolution. I mean, if your use case is on resolution and you don't care about the cost, then you can go for headsets like the Vario, the X-Star, you know, even the Valve Index, and what's coming up this year for the newer headsets. But if you want, I think resolution is just part of the story when you're in VR and AR. I think we provide a superior experience. If you see that as an experience, I think Lynx is a very good investment. I think you can ask people that try the headset either at AWE or this week at SPIE. You can see online some people did reviews, and I think we provide something that is way superior in some ways. So I would invest in our headsets as a developer, definitely. But again, depends on what is exactly your use case. But our team is ready to discuss with you if you have any questions, whether your game logic or your app logic can be a good fit with Lynx. I heard a Lynx broke during one of your visits last month. Was that user error or a freak accident or false info? So yeah, we had so it was not one of our trips, but we sent a unit to Ultraleap because they were at CES, and they were only able to do a few demos before the headsets broke down, and it was an issue with the battery connectors, so the headset was not able to be powered correctly, so it was not really working. And we had another prototype last year that did that behaved like that. So it's more hardware fault of the assembly that we did here, but it's unfortunate occurrence of that. So it was not a false information. It was just that maybe it fell on the ground. Maybe it has some shock during transportation. I don't know. We will review that unit when it comes back at the office in a few days. But yeah, all the other demos we did worked fine, and I think we clocked more than 1,000 demos in the last 2-3 months. So yeah. Okay, so I think it's good. So someone said, I just want to play Audio Trip standalone. Are you working with various developers groups to have games on Lynx standalone at launch? Yeah, and those developers are just asking for units they can work with and our SDK, and that is our #1 priority. So you have to know that the Lynx team is part hardware, part software, and other stuff, and we have more people now on the software than on the hardware. So we really focus on the SDK and on how you're going to build application. I'm testing the SDK builds we do every week, and I really like to use that to play, to mess around. In 3 clicks in Unity, you can get going with a standard application. So yeah, it's really our priority to make things compatible, cross-compatible, even between headsets. Because, I think the next standalone headsets coming on the market are all going to be Android and Qualcomm based. So there is a lot of leverage from there to do something where developers can build an application on, HTC standalone headset and can port that to Lynx, and the other way around. So a developer can make money from all the ecosystem with, building only one build with maybe tiny adjustment between the different builds, but that's the idea of OpenXR, right? To be able to build native apps without, adjusting too much on the hardware APIs of each vendor. So I'm really looking forward to that. And this is why also we are betting everything on the OpenXR runtime. So yeah, keep an eye out for our release here, and we're pushing our partners to advance as fast as possible on that too. Yeah, I saw the question. How large is the maximum tracking space the Lynx can work on? Could I wear it and go out for a walk and it would track all the way, or is there a limit? So it's from the observation we have, it's working on a very, very large area when you're inside, but the 6DoF algorithm is still struggling outside. So it works outside. We have demos of that working outside. I tested that too, so I can look at you in the eye and say it's working outside, but I think it's not a matter of area, it's a matter of conditions. If you have many objects moving, if you have different lighting conditions and all that at the same time, that can really mess with the tracking algorithm. So it really depends on the outdoor environment you are. So what's your progress on 2D Android apps running on Lynx as floating windows? That's a great question. Actually, we had, I'm not saying too much here, but we had external help from that matter. So we know how to do that. We are waiting to migrate to Android S to finalize this work. So there is a lot of modification we need to make on the Android default UI experience that is for 2D phones, right? So we have a lot of modifications to make, and we are going to wait for Android S to be there for us to make those changes. But we know how to do that, and I'm thanking the help we had on that matter. So you can do good point. You can use 3DoF outside. If 6DoF is too hard, you can switch to a 3DoF mode. Late question. Sorry, is there any plan for a central hub for Lynx, like a desktop VR equivalent with a video screen and internet browser and such? So we have that. We have a launcher, which is the home default app. We don't have the browser yet though, but it's going to embed all the settings, all the listing of the apps. So it's going to replace the default Android home screen, right? we have that. We have a developer working full time on that is doing a very good job. So I'm it's going to be shared with the SDK. It's going to be customizable a lot. So yeah. All right, so I think we're done for tonight. 37 minutes, that's good. Last question. Do you have any anchor system to share position data for group of glasses? Yes, we're working on that. We're sharing the point clouds, having one device being the master and sharing the anchors and all that. Yes, that is definitely, there is someone working on that. So, all right, I will go to sleep. And I hope I answered some of the questions. I will put that video on the Kickstarter page. Again, just to finish, we are hiring. There is so much enthusiasm around our project. I can't wait to announce the fundraising effort we made in the last month. If you want to get in, it's now or never. Hiring, looking for more developers to get to know that should know about this device. So you guys that are watching this video now are the community here is the one spreading the word. We don't, as you know, we have virtually zero money for marketing and communication because this is the strategy we have. So it's not only word of mouth, but it's also community relaying the information to other developers that hey, you should keep an eye on Lynx. So if you do that, that's amazing. So thank you all, and I will see you at the next update or at the next event. Stay safe and look out for our releases. Bye.